Hello. Last year, I was sentenced by the Polish court of law for a year of forced labor as a punishment for violating hate speech rules for calling Islamic terrorists savages. This whole ordeal was started in 2017 by an organization in Poland, an NGO, which performed an initiative called Hate Stop in order to eradicate hate speech from the Polish public space. So they went after celebrities and also people like me, just normal people who, in the eyes of this organization, spreaded hate speech, offended people based on their ethnicity, race, or religion. And in my case, they claimed that I spread publicly hate towards Muslims by calling Islamic terrorists savages, and also I supposedly spreaded white supremacy by calling Western civilization the highest form of civilization. Their evidence for that was a supposedly video where I was spreading a message of hate, claiming that Western civilization is superior and that people of the Western civilization must crush other ethnicities and races. The link to this video is in the description of this particular video, so you can judge by yourself. It is an English version of the same video. The original was in Polish, and there's also an English version of the same video, so you can see for yourself whether I am spreading hate. The problem is that YouTube algorithms are so sensitive that when I tried to upload this video in the English version, it immediately got flagged, even though it was not public, but the algorithms flagged it as hateful. So as you can see, there is a widespread confusion about especially everything which pertains to Western civilization. The leftists, the speech police, basically considers everything Western as being white. They explicitly connect Western civilization to white people, even though Western civilization is also present in non-white, non-European countries like Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and in Israel, for example. I am a great supporter of Israel, I am a Zionist, and even though Israel does not lie in Europe, is not inhabited by originally European people, it is nonetheless a Western country. Countries like Japan or South Korea, though they are completely different cultures from European cultures, nonetheless they are part of the Western world after Second World War. They have become westernized to such an extent that there's just no civilizational difference by living in those countries compared to living in Europe or United States. There are cultural differences, but not civilizational, fundamental civilizational differences. But why do leftists and speech police do not recognize that? Because they are fighting a crusade against Western civilization as it is. They want to brand us, the defenders of Western civilization, as racists. They want to shut us down, they want to muzzle our speech. So everything we do to defend Western civilization, to formulate a comprehensive defense of Western civilization, they consider hate speech, they consider racism, they consider Islamophobia, they consider it some sort of bigotry, even though all we do is stating the obvious, that Western civilization is the greatest one precisely because it allows every human being, regardless of race, nationality, and religion, to pursue his or her own happiness. And he can do it either in the United States, either in any European country, or in countries, Far Eastern countries like Japan or South Korea. In Hong Kong, he can do that in Malaysia, which is a Muslim country, but is a westernized country to such an extent that if you are not a Muslim, then you are not even subject to the Islamic law. But if you are a Muslim, then you must follow Islamic law in Malaysia. So you cannot, for example, fornicate or cheat on your spouse, for that matter. But I actually know some Malaysians who cherish the colonialism, while, of course, the leftists cannot understand that the Malaysian may cherish colonialism and that his country actually has a legacy British common law system, which is very beneficial, for instance, for business climate, for all things considering business code and civil law. So this whole ordeal for me started when a person known as Joanna Grabarczyk, the director of the Hate Stop initiative in this NGO, filed a complaint to the police, basically accusing me of spreading Western supremacy and spreading hatred towards Muslims, even though in the video, as you will see when you watch this video, there isn't even a word Muslim used. There is a mention of Islam and Islamic countries like Iran, which are run by Islamic clergy with an explicit mission to eradicate Israel and eradicate Western world, to wage war against Western world. And only in that context Islam is mentioned there. Iran and Saudi Arabia are two big Islamic countries which are run by clergy. In the case of Iran, by Ayatollahs, and in the case of Saudi Arabia, by the Wahhabites. Although in the last few years this has been changing in Saudi Arabia, because the current ruler of Saudi Arabia, bin Salman, I don't even know if he is still alive, but he was supposed to turn Arabia to the Western world. Anyway, Islam is only mentioned in this video in these two particular instances, while the rest of the video is basically a manifest of Western pride. The message of this video is to be proud of Western achievements and to not let them go. And the second part of the video is basically devoted to the mystification of the leftist agenda of inducing guilt in Westerners, especially in white Westerners, to make us basically guilty, make us ashamed of our Western roots, of our Western ideals, of our civilization. So that's what leftists do. First, they try to shame you, and when you do not yield to this shaming tactic, they accuse you of racism, accuse you of Islamophobia, accuse you of any sort of bigotry. So watch this video and spread this video and the video, the accused video, the incriminated video, and make it widely known. Poland is not a country of free speech. This is the second time I've been sentenced for the things I speak or I sing, things which the leftists do not like. Europe, Poland, Europe in general is not a safe haven for dissenting speech. The only country which upholds the ideals of free speech is the United States, thanks to its First Amendment. And as of current, this is the only free country in the world, the United States, given that the freedom of speech is necessary to uphold freedom in general. So despite Poland being ruled by a right-wing party, supposedly, the justice system is still corrupt. It still punishes people for what they say. So judge for yourself. We are going down and down into slavery, deeper and deeper into slavery. Take care.